algebra part 2, that is on the solving of simultaneous equations. So now we're going to be checking 2 by 2, 2 unknowns and 3 unknowns. So we shall start with the 2 unknowns. These are, we can say they're simpler. So let's jump right in. Now we have question number 1. X equals to x minus 3y equals to 1 and x minus y equals to 7. Now the solution to this, now we use substitution method. So by substitution, method, so we have to make one of the terms the subject of the formula, then substitute it in the equation, in the other equation. So if you have that, so you can say this one is equation number 1, and you have equation number 2. Now again, always choose a term which has the variable or the constant here has the least. So in our case here we have x, and we have x here, we have a 3, and we have a 1 here. So we can use equation number 2 and make x the subject of the formula. So in 2, so make x the subject in equation number 2. So we shall have, if you have x minus y equals to 7, therefore your x will be y plus 7, or 7 plus y. Then take your x, substitute it in the first equation. So x, we substitute x in 1. So we shall have, where we have an x, we put y plus 7. So we shall have y plus 7 into brackets, then minus 3y equals to what? Equals to 1. Therefore we shall have y plus 7 minus 3y equals to 1. Then take 7 on the right hand side, then subtract. So y minus 3y, we have negative of 2y. Then we have 1 minus 7. So we have negative of 2y equals to 6. Therefore, your value of y, negative of 6, therefore your value of y will be given by negative of 6 divided by negative of 2. So your y will be what? Your y will be 3. And therefore you can therefore find the value of x by substituting your y into this equation here. So we know our x is given by y plus 7. Therefore your x will be 3 plus 7. Therefore your x will be equals to 10. And that is how we solve this in substitution method. So we check the second example. We have 7x minus 4y equals to 37. Then we have 6x plus 3y equals to 51. So the solution. So by substitution. So you remember we are using substitution method in this one. So again, make one of the terms to be the subject of the formula. So we can take the first one and make x the subject of the formula. So we have 7x minus 4y equals to 37. So making x the subject, so make x in 1 the subject. So we make this one the subject. So we shall have 7x, take the negative of 4y on the right hand side. So we shall have 37 plus 4. 7 plus 4y. Then divide all through by 7 and by 7. So we shall have x equals to 37 plus 4y divided by 7. So your value of x is given by 37 plus 4y, then divided by 7. Now let's now substitute our value of x in equation number 2. So you can say this one is 1 and this one is 2. So substitute your x in 2. So sub x in 2. So we shall have 6. Then we have our x is 37 plus 4y, then over 7, then plus 3y equals to 51. Now I want to eliminate our denominator here, the term at the denominator in this term here, right? So we can eliminate this 7 by multiplying every term in this equation by 7. So we multiply this term by 7, multiply this term by 7, multiply this term by 7. So if you multiply this term by 7, you just remain with 6 into bracket 37 plus 4y. So then multiplying 3 by 7, you have plus 21y. Then 51 times 7 207 give you 357. Now you can open up the brackets. So you have 37 times 6 gives you 222. Then plus this 6 times 4 is 20. 24 y plus 21 y equals to 357. Now 24y plus 21y gives you 45. So you have 222 plus 45y equals to 357. Now take 222 on the right hand side. So you have 45y equals to 357 minus 222. So and evaluating that, we get our answer as 135. So 135, and you have 45y. So for you to get your value of y, divide by 45, divide by 45, and this goes how many times? Y equals to 3. Then for you to get the value of x, we know now our x was given by this expression here. So our x, therefore, now replacing your value of y in this expression, we shall have 37 plus 4. Then your y is what? Your y is 3. Then divided by 7. So that is 37 plus 12 gives you 49 over 7. So therefore this is 49 over 7. What is 49 over 7? Gives you 7. So your value of x is 7. So your value of x is 7 and your value of y is 3. So those two examples, I believe, are good in solving equation by substitution method. Now we check the same question. Now we use elimination method to solve this. So solve this using elimination. So the solution will be given by. So you choose a term which you want to eliminate. So in our case, it will be easier to eliminate x. So you have x minus 3y equals to 1. Then x minus y equals to 7. So what do you do in equation number 1 and equation number 2 for you to eliminate? So the question is always, what will you do? Will you add or will you subtract for you to eliminate a term? So in our case here, for us to eliminate x, we have to subtract this x and this x. So therefore, we use the subtraction. So therefore, x minus x gives you 0. Then you have negative 3, negative, negative, that becomes positive. So negative 3 plus y gives you negative 2y. Then 1 minus 7 gives you negative of 6. Then you have negative of 2, negative of 2. Therefore, your y will be given by what? Your y will be given by 3. And since you have the value of y, now replace in any of the equations. So replace in equation 2 for you to get your value of x. You can choose either equation. You can either replace it in 1 or 2. Now we choose our 2. So therefore x minus our y is what? 3. This should give you 7. Therefore your x will be 7 plus 3. So your x will be what? Will be 10. So you can see it is even shorter to do this equation using elimination method. Example number 2, or the question number 2. The same question we have used in elimination. We want to prove that indeed also using we use substitution, so we prove by also elimination. So we have these two. So now you have these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Now in this case we want to eliminate a term. We want to eliminate one of the terms. But you can see the constants that we have before our known term are not the same. Here we have 7, we have 6, we have 4, we have 3. So now you choose how you want to eliminate it. Now what you will do in this case is, for example, you can choose to eliminate x. So we have to make our variables here to be the same. Alright, we have to make our variable here to be the same. And now in our case what you do here is, so if you want to eliminate x, we say eliminating x, x from the two equations. So in the first equations, we shall multiply with the variable that is in the second equation of x. So in this first equation, we shall multiply by 6. Then in the second equation, we multiply with this variable here, which we multiply by 7. So this will enable us to make these terms to be the same. So if you wanted to eliminate y, you will multiply the second equation here by 4 and the first equation by 3. So now 6 times 7 gives us 14, 42x. 6 times negative of 4 is negative of 24y. Then that 7 times 6 gives us 22. Then 7 times 6 again 42x. 7 times 3 plus 21y. Then equals to 51 times 7, which gives us 357. So 357. So you can see now, in our case here, we have the terms that appear in x being the same, 42 and 42. Now, in this case, you can now eliminate. So eliminating for x, we subtract. So it will be 42 minus 42 gives you 0. Then you have negative of 24 minus, then you have a negative here and you have a positive here. So this one changes to be a negative. So negative 24, negative 21 gives you negative of 45y. Then you have 222 minus 357 to give you negative of 135. Then you divide by negative of 45 on this side, divide by negative of 45 on that side. So you have your y value will be given by what? Will be given by 3. Then from there, just replace your value of x, your value of y in any of these equations, the first and the second. So replacing or substituting y in equation 1. And use 1. So we substitute our y here. So we have 7x minus 4. What is our value of y? Our value of y is 3. Should give you 37. So 7x minus 12 gives you 30. Gives you 37. Then you take the negative of 12 on the right hand side. So you shall have 7 of x equals to 37. This one is a negative, goes to the other side, becomes a positive. So you have 7 of x equals to 49. Then you divide by 7. Therefore, you have your values to be value of x to be 7. And simply, that is how you can handle any equation over two unknowns using either substitution and elimination method. Now, solving simultaneous equations of three unknowns. So we check a question that appeared in the Math series 2023. So you have your three functions, equation number 1, equation number 2, and equation number 3. So you're supposed to solve now using substitution method. So solve, I'll just say solve using substitution method. So solve using substitution method. So solution. So now the same way we have done in a 2 by 2 we'll do. So we check one of the equations and make one of the terms to be subject to the formula. Now in our case here, we shall take the term that has only two unknowns. So we can take this equation number 3. So using equation number 3, we make f2 the subject of the formula. So make f2 the subject in 3. So equation number 3, we make f2 the subject of the formula. Now, so we shall have, so if f2 is given plus 3f3 is given by 3, therefore your f2 is the same as 3 minus 3f3. Then what you do from this point is replace the value of f2 in equation number 1 and equation number 2. So that is always the procedure. So make one term the subject of the formula, then replace it in the other equations. So we shall have, so in 1, so sub in 1 and 2. So we shall have 1 and 2. So we start with 1. So we shall have f1. Then we know what our f2 is. So plus into brackets 3 minus 3f3. So that is our f2. Then plus f3 should give us 7. Now opening up the brackets, we have f1 plus 3 minus 3f3 plus f3 gives you 7. Now add the terms of f3 and now take the constant on the right hand side. So we have f1 here Then you have negative of f3 plus f3. So you shall have minus 2f3. Then take this 3 to the right hand side because it is a constant. So you shall have, this is positive because there on the other side becomes negative. So 7 minus 3 gives you what? Gives you 4. So you have that. Now replacing that is replacing in 1. Now replacing 2. So we have again 2 f1. Alright. What is our value of f2? So plus 3 minus 3 f3. Okay. Minus 2 f3 will give us what? Will give us 9. Right. Now opening up the brackets, we have 2 f1 plus 3 minus 3 f3 minus 2 f3 equals to 9. Now add the terms that are the same. So we have 2 f1. Then negative of f3, 3, negative of 3, negative of 2 gives you negative of 5. So negative of 5, f3. Then take the 3 on the right hand side. So you have 9 minus 3, which will give you 6. So we can say this is equation number 4. And have equation number 5. Then, now from this point, again, using these two equations, make one. Again, another term, because we can see we have now two unknowns. We have reduced our equation to have two unknowns. We have f1 and f3, f1 and f3. So now, using one of the equations, make one of the terms to be the subject of the formula. So we can use 4. So in 4, make f1 the subject. So we make f1 the subject. So if we have f1 minus 2f3 equals to 4. So we have that. Now we make our f1 the subject. So we take 2f3 on the right hand side. So we have f1 will be given by 4 plus 2f of 3. Right? So we have that equation there. Then replace f1 in this equation. So replacing f1 in equation number 5. So sub f1 in equation number 5. So we shall have 2. So what is our f1? Equation number 5 is here. So 4 plus 2f3. Right? Then minus 5f3 will give you what? Will give you 6. Opening up the bracket, we shall have 8 plus 4f3 gives us what? We have a negative of 5f3 will give you 6. So 4 minus 5 gives you negative f3. You have negative f3. Then you take 8, you take it to the right hand side, you have 6 minus 8, which will give you negative of 2. Divide by the negative and the negative, your f3 just given by what? f3 will be given by 2. So you can write here that your f3 is given by 2. Because you divide by a negative of 1 by negative of 1, then they cancel out. You have the value for f3. Now, since you already have now the value of f3, you can now get all the other values. So we know if your f3 is 2, you can come here. So you start from the answer that you have gotten and replacing in the equations, in the consecutive equations that you've been getting to find the other values. So you have f3, now replacing it here, you shall have f1 is given by 4 plus 2. What is our value for f3? Our f3 is 2. So our f3 is 2. Therefore our f1 will be given by 4 plus 4. Right? So your f1 will be 8. Then replacing now the value of f1 and f3 in our equation here. Okay? Or you can just replace it from this point. So your f2 value, we know your f2 was given by 3 minus 3 f3, right? So f2 will be given by 3 minus 3. What is our f3? 2. So your f2 therefore will be given by this 3 minus 6. So your F2 will be given by negative of 3. And those are your values for F1, F2 and F3. So F1 is given by 8, F2 is given by negative of 3, and F3 is given by 2. And those are your 3 values. And remember, if you always want to know if you have your answers as the correct answers, always replace your values F1, F2 and F3 in any of the equation there to verify if it gives you the constant terms that we have there. And replacing 8, negative 3 and 2, then this will satisfy our equation. Let's check equation number 2. So now we check one question from the July series 2022, and you're supposed to use substitution method to solve this. So, solution. So now, in these equations, we make I1 the subject. Remember substitution. So we make 1 the subject of the formula, then replace it in the other 2 equations there. So in our case here, we shall have 7. So we have 7I1 plus 5I2 is equals to 25. Therefore, equals 25. Making I1 the subject, so we shall have 7I1 equals to 25. Then you take, these are positive, take it to the other side, it becomes negative of 5I2. Then divide by 7, divide by 7, so that you have your I1 being equals to 25 minus 5I2 over 7. Now, replace it in this equation, in equation number 2. So replace or sub I1 in equation number 2. So we shall have, so substituting that, we shall have 5. So what is our I1? 25 minus 5I2 over 7, then plus 19I2, then minus 4I3 equals to 25. Now again, we want to eliminate our constant that is at the denominator, so we multiply every term by what? By 7. So here we shall have 5, and you have 25 minus 5I2, so 2 is a subscript. Then we have, so 19 times 7, so we have 19 times 7 gives us 133 I2 minus 4 times 7, 28 I3, then 25 times 7, we have 175. So we have just eliminated the denominator so that we can only have numbers in the numerator. Now opening up the brackets, so 5 times 25 gives you 120, 125 minus 5 times 5 gives you 25 I2, then you have plus 133 I2, then minus 28 I3 equals to 175. Now add terms that are the same and take like terms on one side. So you can have I2 and I2, that is 133. Then you subtract 20. 25 gives you 108. So you shall have 108 I2. Then you have minus 28 I3. Then take 125 to the other side. So 175 minus 125, which will give you 50. So you have that equation there. Now, let's say this one is 4. So you can notice one thing here already, that now in the third equation there is no value of I1. But now, this equation here and this equation have the same terms which are unknown. We have I2 and I3, I2 and I3. Now using this equation and this equation, we solve it again using substitution. So we have two unknowns. So we can make any the subject of the formula. Now let's make I3 the subject of the formula here. So we can make I3 in equation 3 the subject. Make I3 the subject in equation number what? equation number 3. So naming your equations is important so that you can have a flow of your work. So now we have, negative of 4i2 plus 6i3 equals to 50. So we make i3 the subject. So we take negative of 4 to the other side. So we shall have 6i3 gives us 50. Then this one is a negative, goes to the other side, becomes a positive of i2. Then you divide by 6, you divide by what? By 6. Don't cancel that. So i3, which gives you 50 plus 4i2, then divide by what? Divide by 6. So now you have your value expression to express i3. Then from there, replace now your i3 in equation number 4. So sub i3 in equation number 4. So wherever we have an i3, you replace with this value. So we shall have 108 i2, right, minus 28. Then you have i3, and what is our value for i3? 50 plus 4i2, then divide by 6, okay, equals to 50. Again, eliminate our denominator there by multiplying every term by 6. Remember, this is a whole term. So if you multiply by 6, this 6 and 6 will cancel here. Now we shall have 108 multiplied by 6, which gives you 640. So we shall have 648 i2. Okay, and you shall have minus 28, 50 plus 4i2. Alright. Then you have 50 times 6, that is 300. Now opening up the brackets and solving, so we have 648 i2, then minus 28 times 50. 14 times 50 gives us 1400. Then negative, and this one also is a negative, so you shall have negative. Now 28 times 4 gives us 112 i2, then you shall have 300. Then adding like terms and also taking terms on one side. So 648 minus 112, 648, and you shall have 536. You shall have 536 i2 equals to, now we check negative of 1400 to this other side, so we shall have 1700, because this one is a negative, goes to the other side, it becomes a positive. So 1400 plus 300 gives you 1700. Therefore, divide by 536 divided by 536. So 1700 divided by 536, which gives you i2 will be what? 3.171, let's say 6 to 4 decimal places. So you have your value of i2. Now you can come, now replace your value of i2 here, so that you can find your value of i3. So i3 therefore will be given by 50 plus, then 4, what is our i2? 3.1716, then all of that divided by 6. So now that term there, you multiply by 4, then plus 50. So you add 50, then divide by 6, gives you 10. So this value here gives you 10.447 into 3 decimal places. Now we check the value. We have the value of i2 in terms of amperes. Remember, these are amperes. Then we have i2 and we have i3. Now we come to i1. So we use equation number 1 to get the value of i1. So we shall have 7. Now i1, then plus 5. What is our i2? Our i2 is 3.1716. So we have that. Then equals to what? Equals to 20. Equals to 25. Therefore, multiplying the 2, we shall have 7i1. Then plus, that will give us, so 5 times 3.1716 It's going to give us 15.858, which gives us 25. Therefore, we bring positive over 15.858 to the right hand side. We shall have so 7I1 equals to 25 minus 15.858. So we subtract that, we get 7I1, which will give you what? 10 point. Let's work it out. We have 25 minus 15.858. It gives us 9. 10. 9.142. Now for us to get I1, divide by what? Divide by 7 divided by I1 divided by 7 by 7. Get I1 equals 2. So that divided by 7, we have 1.306 amperes. So therefore, our value for I1, I2 and I3 are now given. So you can just write them down. So I1 is 1.306 amperes. I2 is 3.1716 amperes. Then I3 we shall have 10.4478. And that is how you finish up the question using substitution method. So something to note here: when you start a question and you are starting it with using substitution method, so you cannot introduce any other method inside the question. So if it is a substitution method, so make one term the subject of the formula, replace the terms in the other two equations, then you'll have two unknowns. Having two unknowns, again, make another term the subject of the formula, then solve for that term. Then after you get one of the terms, you can now replace the terms going upwards. And therefore, I1, I2, and I3 are given by that. Let's check a question here, and we now solve it using elimination method. So use elimination method. So we're going to find E1, E2, and E3. So now solution. So in our case here, so elimination, as the word states, is just eliminating a term. So using either equation number 1, equation number 2, or equation number 3, you choose a term which you want to eliminate. And always take a term that has the constant, the least constant. It is easier to eliminate that. So we come to our case here, we can eliminate E1 and E1 in the first two equations. So taking the first and the second, so taking 1 and 2, we eliminate E, we eliminate E1. So we shall have E1 minus 3 E2 plus 3 E3 equals to 13. And you have E1 minus E2 plus E3 equals to 3. And what do we do to eliminate? So in our case here, we to eliminate E1, you take E1 minus E1. So you subtract. So you shall subtract each and every term in that in those two equations. So E1 minus E1 becomes 0. Then you have negative 3 minus becomes a positive. So negative 3 plus 1 gives you what? Negative 2E2. Then you have 3 minus 1 gives you plus 2E3. Then you have 13 minus 3, it gives you what? It gives you 10. Then, so that is the first. Then the second, take again another two equations concurrently. So again we take this and this. You can also take this and this, but not the same equations. So you can take now 2 and 3. So taking 2 and 3. Now remember, whatever you eliminated in the first process, you also eliminate in the second. So we are also eliminating what? E1. So eliminate E1. So equation number 2 is given by E1 minus E2, then plus E3 gives us 3. Then your equation number 3 given by 3 E1, then minus 9 E2, then plus 5 E3 gives you what? Gives you 6. But now in our case here, you shall realize one thing. The value here, the constant at the second and the third equation are not the same. So you have to make them the same. And we say you multiply this term here in the first equation, and whatever term you have here, you multiply the second equation. So we are saying here, we multiply the first equation by 3 and the second equation by what? By 1. So we shall have the equation now, a new equation, 3E1 minus 3E2 plus 3E3, and 3 times 3 gives you 9. Then you have 3E1 minus 9E2 plus 5E3 gives you 6. So remember, we are multiplying by 1, so the equation remains the same. So again, we eliminate E1. So for us to eliminate E1, we subtract. Okay? So we subtract the two equations. So you shall have 3E1 minus 3E1, that gives you 0. Then you have negative 3 minus, that becomes positive. So negative 3 plus 9 gives you 6. So 6 E2. Then you have 3 minus 5 gives you negative 2E3. Then you have 9 minus 6 gives you 3. So therefore, you have your equation, the first and the second equation. So you can say this one is the equation number 4, and this is equation number 5. Now, at this juncture, you have two equations having two unknowns. So we have E2 and E3. We have E2 and E3. Now again, solve the two equations simultaneously. So you have negative 2E2, then plus 2E3 gives you what? Gives you 10. Then we have 6E2, then minus 2E3 should give you 3. Now again, choose a term which you want to eliminate. So in our case here, we can see it is easier to eliminate what? E3, because the term at E3 here and the term at E3 here are the same. So eliminate. So using these two, we eliminate E3. So we say eliminate E what? We eliminate E3. So how do you eliminate 3? Now we have 2, then we have negative of 2. So what will you do? We can check. If you put a subtraction here, you shall have 2 minus minus, right? So that will be a positive. Now it means in our case here, we shall do what? We shall add the two terms, the two equations. So therefore adding, we shall have, so we are eliminating E3. So negative 2 plus 6, that gives you what? 4E2. Then this plus this gives you 0 equals to 10 plus 3 gives you what? 13. So your E2 divided by 4 divided by 4. So your E2 will be given by 13 over 4. And now, since you've already found one of the terms, now you can replace your values going upwards. So you can replace E2 in either equation 4 or equation 5. So you can use this equation here. So replacing or substituting sub E2, substituting E2 in equation number 5. So this is equation number 5. So we shall have 6. What is our E2? Our E2 is 13 over 4. Then we have minus 2 E3 should give you what? Should give you 3. So by 2 by 2, 3. So 3 times 13, that is 39 over 2. So we shall have 39 over 2 minus 2E2 equals to 3. Then take 39 over 2, the right hand side, then it will become a subtraction. So we shall have 3 minus 39 over 2 gives you the negative. So you have negative 2E2 gives you negative of 33 over 2. So again, now we want to remain with E2, divide all through by or multiply by negative over half. And just say, in this side we shall divide by negative 2. This side is just the same as saying divide by the negative of a half. So we shall have our E2. So this will be our value, not our E2. It is E3, right? It is our E3. So our value for E3 will be given by, so we have a negative and a negative, will cancel out. Then 33 times 1 is 33. Then 2 times 2 is what? Gives you 4. So now you have your value of E2 and E3. Now again, replace the value of E2 and E3 in any of these three equations. So you can use the simplest one, which is this one. So therefore, replacing or substituting E2 and E3 in equation number 2. Let's use the 2. So we shall have E1 minus, what is our value of E2? 13 over 4. Then plus, what is E3? 33 over 4 should give you what? Should give you 3. Now what is negative 13 over 4? Negative 13 over 4 plus 33 over 4. Negative 13 over 4. Then you add 33 over 4. That gives you what? It gives you 5. So you have E1 positive of 5 equals to 3. Now take 5 to this other side. So we shall have E1 will be given by 3 minus 5, and E1 will be given by negative of 2. And those are your values for E1, your E2, and your E3. Now, we check the July 2021, and we check this example, this question that was given there. Remember, we're solving using what? Using elimination method. So, solution. Now, so we have equation 1, 2, and 3, and we choose now which term we want to eliminate. So in our case, we shall eliminate I1. Let's eliminate I1. So we have equation number 1. So we say this one is 1, this one is 2, this one is, and then you have the third. Right? So therefore, 2I1 plus I2 minus 3I3 equals to negative of 5. Then you have I1 minus 2I2 plus 4I3 equals to what? Equals to 9. Now, since we're eliminating, saying eliminate I1. Since we're eliminating I1, notice one thing again. This term and this term here are not the same. And what do we know? If we want to make them to be the same, multiply whatever variable is here with the first equation and whatever variable is here in the second equation. So we're just saying we shall multiply this one by 1. So we have a 1 here. Then the second one we multiply by 2. So therefore our new equations will be 2I1 plus I2 minus 3I3 equals to negative of 5. Then this equation now we multiply by 2. So 2I1 minus 4I2 plus 8I3 equals to what? Equals to 18. Now eliminating I1, we subtract the two equations. We subtract the two equations. We shall have so 2I1 becomes 0. Now you have 1 minus, we get what? 5I2. Then negative 3 minus 8 gives you negative of what? Negative of 11 I3 equals to negative of 5 minus 18. That gives you negative of 20. Negative of 23. So you have equation, let's say now is equation number, that is equation number 4. Now we come to the second. Now taking again two equations at a go, we take now the second, take the second and the third. So taking the second and the third, we have I1 minus 2I2 plus 4I3 equals to 9. Then you have 3I1, then plus I2, then plus 2I3 equals to 7. So in this case again, remember whatever you eliminated in the first two equations combined, then that is whatever is the same term you will eliminate in the second two terms, second two equations put together. So again, eliminating I1, we notice again our value of I1 here is 1 and here is 3. So we are saying we multiply the first term with the first equation with 3, the second we multiply by 1. Therefore our new equations will be given by 3I1 minus 6I2 then plus 12I3 equals to 27. Then we have 3I1 that remains plus I2 then plus 2I3 gives us what? Gives us 7. So how do we eliminate again our I1? So again we subtract. So therefore this minus this will be 0. Negative 6 minus 1 is the negative of 7I2. Then 12 minus 2 gives you 10. So plus 10I3. Then 27 minus 7 gives you what? Gives you 20. Now we call this equation number 5. Then we say we have now two equations with two unknowns. I2 and what? I3 and I3. Now solve again the two equations simultaneously. So we have 5I2 minus 11I3 equals to negative of 23. That is equation number 4. Then you have equation number 5, negative of 7I2 plus 10I3 equals to 20. Again, choose a term that you want to eliminate. You can check again, our terms here are not the same. So you can eliminate I2. So eliminating I2. Eliminating I2. So again, multiply the term. The term that is here, the term is here. Without regarding the negative. Just take the term as it is. So we have, we shall multiply by 7, we shall multiply by 5. So our new equations we have is 35I2, right? Then minus 77I3 equals 2. Then we have negative of 23 times 7. So negative of 23 times 7 gives us negative of 160, negative of 161. Then you have again, you'll have negative of 35I2, okay. Then 5 times 10, that is 50. So plus 50I3 equals to 20 times 5, that is 100. So you have 100. Then check the terms. Now, what will you do with these two equations to eliminate I2? Remember, if you put a subtraction, you have 35 negative negative, which becomes a positive. So in short, you're saying you shall do what? You shall add the two equations. So you shall have this added to that will give you 0. Now negative 77 plus 50, that will give you negative of 27I3. Then negative of 161 plus 11 give you negative of 61. Then divide by negative of 27 both sides. Negative of 27, negative of 27. Therefore your I3 will be given by, so the negative and the negative goes, then 61 divided by 27 gives you 2.259, let's say 3 for decimal places. So now you have your value for I3. Therefore, from this point now you can go back upwards to solve for the values of I2 and I3. Now we have equation 5 and we also have equation 4. So you can choose whichever equation that you need to replace the value of I3. So you can use equation number 5. Replace, where we have an I3, put 2.2593. So in 5 we have negative of 7 I2, then plus 10, 2.2593, right? So we have replaced the value of what? I3. So we have equals to 20. Now we have 10 times 2.25, so this will move one decimal place, we have 22. So it will be negative of 7 I2 plus 22 2.5993 equals to 20. So solve it there. Now, so take this term to this other side, so we shall have 22, 20 subtract that, we shall get 2. So negative of 7, I2 will be given by, to be a negative of 2.59 and negative of 2.593. Then divide by negative of 7 divided by negative of 7. So I2 will be given by 2.593 divided by 7. We have, so these, remember these and these will go. So we have 0.3704. Now, you have your values of I3 and I2. Now, replacing your values of I2 and I3 in any of these equations, you can get your value of I1. So you can use the second one. So you can say replacing I2 and I3 in equation number 2. So, and I replace that. We can create some space here. Let me create some space there. So we have, now in equation number 2, so it is I1. So we have I1, then minus 2. What is our value for I2? 0.3704, right? And you have plus 4. What is our I3? Our I3 value was given by 2.2593. This one should give us what? Should give us 9. So evaluating this, we get I1 minus, so 2 multiplied by 0.3704, you have minus 0.7408, then plus 4 multiplied by 2.2593, so you have 9.0372. This one should give you 9. Now taking all the constants, so if you have negative 0.7408, then add 9.0372. So you shall have I1 then plus 8.2964 equals to 9. Now take this term, the right hand side, you shall have 9 minus 8.296